You know that feeling when you finish a great book or a movie, and you just kind of sit there thinking, okay, but what was that really about? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. Think of us as literary detectives. We're going to learn how to crack the code, find the hidden messages that authors sneak into their stories. So let's get started.
Because, let's be real, every story out there, whether it's a huge blockbuster film or just a little short story about a baseball game, it's trying to tell you something. There's always a bigger idea lurking under the surface, a message that's supposed to stick with you. And our job right now is to figure out exactly how to find it.
All right, so this secret code we're trying to crack, well, there's a master key, and that key has a name. It's the theme. Honestly, this is the most important tool we've got on our whole detective kit, so let's zoom in and really understand what it is. So here's the deal. The theme isn't just the stuff that happens in the story. You know, the sequence of events. That's the plot. The theme is the why behind it all. It's that big universal idea the author is wrestling with. It's the magic, right? Authors use themes to tackle these huge questions about, I don't know, love, loss, justice, what it means to be human. It's basically their way of pulling you aside and saying, hey, let's talk about this.
Okay, so how do we actually find these themes? Well, lucky for us, authors leave clues all over the place. And one of the biggest, most revealing clues is something called the internal monologue. This is basically when we get a backstage pass into a character's mind. We hear their private thoughts. It's like finding their secret diary. It cuts through all the action and dialogue and shows us what they really think and feel, which, you guessed it, often points us directly to the theme.
All right, enough theory. Let's put these detective skills to the test with our first case study. On the surface, it's a pretty simple story about a woman and her neighbors. But like any good mystery, you just know there's more going on than what you see at first glance.
So let's meet our main character, Eleanor Mayhew. She's 50, she's described as no-nonsense, and, well, her neighbors have her all figured out. To them, she's just boring. She's not into flashy cars, silly sitcoms, or those crazy tabloids you see at the checkout counter. She seems totally predictable, right? But is she really?
And here we go. This is the puzzle we have to solve. Based on this story, which of these statements best nails the theme? Is the story just about Eleanor being a boring person? Is it a commentary on trashy tabloids? Or maybe it's something bigger about how we judge people. To figure this out, we need to find that one crucial clue.
And here it is. This is our smoking gun. Just one word, rubbish. That's our internal monologue. As Eleanor glances at those tabloid headlines, this is what pops into her head. Now think about that word for a second. Rubbish. It's not a meek thought, right? It's sharp, it's decisive, it's full of personality. That doesn't sound like a boring person to me. This little word is a huge clue that there's a fiery, opinionated person hiding underneath that quiet exterior.
And boom! That one word leads us right to the answer. That internal monologue was the clue, but the story delivers this amazing twist. Get this, Eleanor used to be a famous rock star. How cool is that? And that just confirms it all. The theme is, people are not always what they seem to be. The author uses this really simple story to make a huge point about how quick we are to judge people based on appearances. And that's a classic theme, right? Because we've all experienced it.
Okay, you absolutely nailed that first case, so let's level up. For our second case, the clues are a little trickier. They're not just in one single thought. This time, they're sprinkled all throughout the plot. We're gonna have to gather all the evidence to crack this one.
So, the story kicks off, and right away, we have a problem. Our narrator is at a baseball game. She's super excited. She's got her glove. But then, some other kids start making fun of her. And one of them, a bully named Pete, says this. Just listen to how mean this is. He says she couldn't catch anything except a cold. Ouch. That right there sets up the whole emotional conflict. It's just mean, and it immediately puts us in a classic underdog story.
Okay, let's lay out the evidence step by step, like a real detective. First, the setup. The kids are making fun of her. Then, the big moment. A foul ball is flying right towards her and, oh no, she drops her glove. For a second, it looks like the bullies were right. But then comes the twist. Her dropped glove literally bonks the bully, Pete, right on the head, and her uncle swoops in and catches the ball anyway. The timing is just perfect. And that sets up the final, brilliant piece of evidence. She looks right at Pete and says, "It looks like Pete might catch a bad cold." She totally flips his own insult right back at him. Amazing!
So when you lay out all those pieces, the theme just snaps into focus. This story isn't really about baseball at all, is it? It's about how getting a little bit of clever revenge can be oh so sweet. It taps into that feeling we all love, seeing the underdog win.
not by fighting, but by being smart. The author uses this one little moment at a ballgame to talk about a much bigger idea: justice and wit.
Okay, so we've cracked 2 cases. We've seen our detective methods work in the wild. Now it's time to take everything we've learned and pack it up into a simple toolkit that you can use on literally any story you come across.
And here it is, your 3-step guide to becoming a master theme detective. Step 1, always look for the central idea. Just keep asking yourself, what's the big message here? Step 2, listen for those clues. Pay super close attention to a character's inner thoughts. That internal monologue is gold. And step 3, analyze the evidence. See how all the different pieces of the plot and the character's actions all point toward that main message. Because remember, the goal isn't just to put a label on the theme. It's about understanding the deep conversation the author is trying to have with you.
So, we've been focused on finding themes in stories, right? Books, movies. But here's where it gets really interesting. The real magic happens when you start using these detective skills everywhere. When you start seeing the big ideas not just in fiction, but in the world all around you.
So I'm going to leave you with this final challenge. You officially have the Theme Detectives Toolkit. So think about your favorite story. Could be a movie, a book, a TV show, anything. What's the big idea it's really exploring? What's the conversation it's trying to have with you? Now you know how to find out. Go find that theme. Happy hunting.